What is up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at Keplerth, Another World. This is a top-down survival game that borrows fairly liberally from the RimWorld School of Aesthetic Design, but there's a lot of depth and a lot of stuff to do with this title. And it's been a couple of years since we took our first impressions looking at, the initial release of the game, so I figured we would do another video this week, and we'd try to get a little bit further in. I apologize if this video goes a little bit long. I am planning on editing and heavily condensing sort of the gathering process and whatnot. But if you've never seen it before, Keplerth is a top-down survival game that combines caveman technology with science fiction and fantasy. You've got everything from orcs to elves to humans going on, but they're in space and they have life pods and they have ejector modules and laser cannons and all that kind of stuff. Kind of a cool setting. I dig it. It's got an interesting aesthetic, and it really sort of answers the question of what would happen if, RimWorld had an adventure mode, a la Dwarf Fortress. So we're going to dive on in today, spend about 25-30 minutes with the game, or at least that's what the final product will look like once the video goes live. If after watching this you wanted to get the game for yourself, I'll have a link for you down below in the description. You can also find a fun-filled link to my Discord where you can talk to me directly in person. I'm on it pretty much all day, every day. And then also my Twitch stream where I'm live most days of the week, although with the holidays and whatnot, I haven't been doing a very good job. It's nice to relax from time to time, isn't it? Let's go ahead and start off, and we will go ahead and make a new character real fast. We can pick between a number of races, everything from elves to dark elves to mummies to apparently a boar man. Obviously, because I'm a big fan of the WoG, we're going to go ahead and be an orc. Unfortunately, this game is incredibly un-orky in the respect that there is no green skin. So unfortunately, at the end of the day, I think we're going to have to kind of settle for the fact that we can't have green skin, but in light of it all, we can have green hair. I'm just going to go for kind of this wild Wilson Don't Starve looking hair. We'll put it on tough mode. We've got to enter on in a name. I'm going to name this guy Megaturd. There we go. That's an old orcish name. Don't Google it. We'll be Megaturd, and then, of course, all of my maturely named worlds that I've created over here, because that's the kind of grown-ass man that I am. We'll enter on in a world name. We'll call it Turd Ferguson. There we go. Perfect. It's all on theme. He knows how to make content. Let's play.
Hello, welcome to your new home. We have arrived at Miko Colony built by our company on a planet called Keplerth. You have just spent 273 years in suspended animation. System is now about to examine your body. Please display them aloud.
I don't think I'm going to go along with that. Let's go ahead and shake it and get on out of here. We've got a robot calling for help down south, and so we'll take Megaturd on down there. We can left-click to use our crazy little punchy module, aka the fist, in order to get through everything. I do recommend you break down all these crates at the beginning of the game, and you break down all these stones, because you are going to need the wood, and you are going to need the stone for further crafting, and it'll kind of accelerate your process and your progress through the tutorial. You can right-click on stuff to interact, and apparently this is the sound of a worn robot attempting to connect to his server, but he didn't hear anything. He's booting in offline mode. Boot success, combat function disabled, switch to server mode. Kind soul, thank you for saving me. Here are some supplies I found. Please accept them. Okay, thank you, robot. I'm more interested in just getting into the meat and the potatoes of the game right now, so we're going to avoid a lot of the little tutorial-y narrative bits, but they do exist. They are there, and they are fun for you to interact with if you want. Through this portal, it'll take us to another base that, as of right now, our character isn't super aware of, but that's where we're going to be building, over time, incrementally a spaceship to get off this planet. But don't expect it to be easy. It's going to be a long process. So, rather than going over there and doing that, I'll just tell you what's in there, and you can imagine it with your imagination. Because, you've got a strong imagination, right? A lifetime spent playing video games hasn't dulled your ability to make head pictures? Huh? Correct? I'm going to go gather some goodies, and then we'll come back. You know, while I was punching this tree haphazardly, I sort of noticed that my character has come equipped with butt cheeks. Take that, RimWorld! You may have accomplished many great things, but as of yet, you haven't supplied your RimWorldians with butt cheeks, have you? Score 1, Keplerth. Alright, so we've got ourselves gathered up some basics right here. We've got some rocky bits, we've got some woody bits. Let's go ahead and press the C key and get on in here and start crafting. The tutorial is going to want a number of various things from us. I'm mostly going to ignore it because I don't like being henpecked by the UI. But for right now, the number one thing I'd recommend picking up is a stone pickaxe. We'll go ahead and put that into our hotbar. Everything in this game does function sort of Terraria style. And so, you know, if you understand the UI over there, you will understand the UI over here. I'm going to go ahead and gather up some more stones so that we can get like a full suite of mega awesome tools. Also some weapons to defend ourselves because this planet is full of things that are quite hostile. But one thing I did notice initially when I started covering this game, you know, I like to play now, so what I used to do is I used to just go in blind to everything. I just go in blind, we fly by the seat of our pants, I make observations as I go. Lately, I've been kind of adjusting things around because it seems like people like that a little bit better. I play for a couple hours prior to recording the video so that I can have observations ready and good to go. I know, being informed. In what way could that possibly make a video better? Learning, right? But anyways, we're gonna need like a lot of materials in order to kind of like beeline through all of this. Also, I'd like to have some equitable building space somewhere around my base as of right now, and knocking all this out is going to be an easy way to do that. But then it occurs to me that I forgot to tell you exactly what I was going to lead into right there. The first thing that I noticed about this game is it actually needs a little bit more motion, in all honesty. I think that, like, the graphics look really, really nice and, like, pleasing, and I like the swing animations, and I like the fight animations and whatnot. However, all of the characters in this game are kind of, like, static. They sort of just, like, float over the top of the terrain, and I couldn't help but wonder how much better the game might look where, if when we're walking like this, there was just a little wobble to the model. He just goes back and forth and wobbles a little bit. And the same would kind of go for all of the enemies. They just sort of slide motionlessly along the surface. And while the little puffs of dust are nice every now and again to sort of imply that you're, you know, performing any sort of traversal, I do think a little bit of wobble to the characters and also the sprites as they move around would definitely help out a little bit. That being said, we have all the stuff we need in order to get going. It wants me to make a crafting bench. It wants me to make a club. I'm gonna do that sort of like begrudgingly because I don't really want the club. But I do want to make a bow, and I do want to make like a stack of arrows. That sounds really, really good because I'd like to be able to fight from range. The thing about the club is, it's like a little bit better than just smacking them with a stone axe, but not better enough to entice me to go ahead and like do that full time. We do have some seeds and things laying around. You can farm in this game. There is animal taming, and there is ranching, and there are mounts and things as far as I know. Let's go ahead and we will put in a wooden workbench real fast, and we're just going to kind of do this all along the bottom wall of our escape pod. We might as well stay close to home and what we're familiar with, i.e. things that probe us with lasers. Now that that's up, we can make a few more advanced buildings. We should be able to make a forge, and we should be able to make, you know, the standard fare stuff that games like this have. So there's our furnace, there's our stove. That's why I gathered up all that stone. We did a good job, everybody. We have accomplished the mission parameters. We'll go ahead and slap those on in. With the forge right here, we can put wood inside of it. And once it's got wood inside of it, we can use it to cook up some of this copper ore so that we can move a little bit faster through the tech tree. I am going to have to go harvest some more trees and get some more baseline materials. Now, you may have noticed every now and again when I'm chopping down trees, I pick up an object with a purple name on it. That purple name is important because this game incorporates RPG mechanics in sort of a unique way, like that hardened branch right there. You might be wondering yourself, like, what the hell is that for? Well, after I've gotten done committing war crimes against the Ent folk, but I am an orc after all, so it's in my nature, we can take a look at the G key right here, and this is your genome. You're going to be able to reprogram your genome with things that you find around. So, for example, while I was mining, I found ancient bird fossils. And then these are basically space bucks, these Tenergy shards. It's a generic currency that's used by, like, everything in this universe. But we can analyze this right here, and it increases our defense by 20%. And then we can just sort of, like, slam it on in as we desire to do so. And we can also level up this genome so that we start regenerating, so that we get additional boosts, and this is going to be the fundamental way by which your character progresses with respect to the difficulty that has been ensconced within the rest of the game. There's a strange blue ore over here, so I'm going to go ahead and take a look at it. There's no real tooltip. Like, you do have kind of like the Z levels and stuff going on in this game, and it'll tell you, but when you tooltip over things, it doesn't directly tell you what they are until you actively have them inside your inventory. Oh, it's iron. I expected iron to be kind of like a reddish color, but they went for sort of like a tungsten-y, I don't know. They went for like a different color scheme for it. I'll take that, though. I mean, anything that allows me to have weapons that aren't whittled from a wall of shale sounds like some kind of advancement to me. Ooh, apples. I'll get those, too. Exploration is going to be a big part of this game. You kind of want to get out there into the great wide world and not worry about running into threats or anything else too much, because that exploration, like we just found, is going to supply you with copper, so now I can truly get my ancient Agamemnon on. One of the other additive effects of the Genome system is that this is actually kind of elegant if you analyze the Genome system. Now, you might be saying to yourself, what do you mean, dude? It's just like a level-up system. It is. But at the same time, it is something that you haven't really seen in a whole lot of survival games before. What the Genome system actually provides is it provides a place for you to put your resources that you don't need. It gives you a reason, so like in other games, there's going to come a point where you are past copper. There's going to come a point where you are past iron, and that resource is now useless to you, except for making like decorations and stuff. In Keplerth, that's not the case. When you get past iron, you still kind of want to hold on to iron because there may be a genome unlock that requires it, or a genome level up that requires it. And so I actually think that that's actually a really... It's a casually elegant way to solve the problem of items becoming outdated and obsolete over the course of a playthrough. And it really ramps up that sort of collectathon desire to, like, have all the things. Now, it comes to my attention that I forgot to talk about the UI, but the UI is very, very simple, and so it's not really going to take much explanation. The top left, we have our general purpose health. We have our satiation. You don't have to worry about water, but you do have to worry about eating. And then we've got our energy level right here, which I think is for our special abilities and stuff we're going to get later on as we continue to mutate and evolve. Let's go ahead. We've got our 7 copper bars over here. I'm going to slap another 20 on in there. There we go. That looks good to me. I didn't really want to put all of my wood in there. I will donate unto you, Furnace, like 20 wood. Use it wisely, that I might not betray you and be disappointed with your performance. However, once we've got our hands on some copper, we're going to be able to upgrade our workbench. Okay, so with our copper mostly brewed over here, that's how you get copper, right? By brewing it? That's something that I feel like I heard at a brewery one time. We also make copper alongside Shocktop Ale. Anyways, we'll go ahead and take these copper bars over here, and our next goal is going to be to craft a copper workbench. That's going to use up some of our stuff. I do appreciate the fact that the game doesn't really have crafting times. If you want to remove stuff, you just smack it. You smack it repeatedly until you're no longer disappointed with it. Unfortunately for the wooden workbench, it is innately inferior to everything else that I have, and so my disappointment is never ending. I know, it's a mean thing to say. Probably going to be a big blow to morale, but, you know, he deserves it. Now that we have the copper workbench in front of us, we can take a look and see what cool stuff we can get after. We've got a copper stove and a copper anvil. I'm going to go ahead and grab both of those real quick. And so we'll add those on in. That means that we're no longer going to need this stove, which then makes me question why I bothered to build it in the first place. Oh, wait, that's a stove? Oh, no, Furnace, I have betrayed you. I'm sorry, Furnace, it's not your fault. I still love you. Okay, so we'll take the furnace and we'll put it back in its rightful place. For whatever reason, this menu expands whenever you, like, go into it, and it doesn't unexpand. I wish that it did. This menu is decidedly less rubbery than I would prefer it be. So whatever reason, when you come out of the crafting menu, it stays expanded every single time. And so, like, I don't know if there's, like, a setting or something that I can fiddle with to get rid of that, but, like, it's a thing that I've noticed. No, you cannot have my 97 wood. You may have 20 and no more. I thought we'd been over this. All right, we'll try and see if we can smelt off the iron in here. Oh, we got to upgrade our forge before we can do iron. Fair enough, my friend. Fair enough. I would like to make myself some new tools for gathering, so I'm going to go ahead and make a copper pickaxe. And I'm going to make myself a copper... I guess copper axe sounds good. Yeah, that'll work. We'll use these to replace the old tools that are now outdated and no longer helpful. Goodbye, stone tools. May you see me in the hot country, little friends. But it's like nighttime, and we should probably... I didn't explore very much. I mostly did gathering today. Probably should have explored a little bit further, because now it's all dark and, like, spooky out here, and also there's some guy running at me like a lunatic. I'm going to shoot him with my stick thrower. Okay. Found a discovery item. Apparently, I have acquired the power of a Parasitor Primordium, a material that can be used to strengthen equipment in the plating pool. Uh-huh. Okay. I have no idea what that sentence means, but you definitely said some words. I am definitely literate. There's also a safe over here that we forgot to loot. All it's got in it is a couple munchie bars and $10. But, like, what else are you going to put inside of a safe? Are you telling me you have something more important in your life that you would put inside of a safe other than 2 munchie bars and $10? Come on, chat. And speaking of things worth protecting, I feel like protecting my butt cheeks with a little bit of armor would be a good idea. So there you go. I now have a wooden chest piece. Unfortunately, it looks like there's a whole bunch of monsters down below. I was just going to use the evening to kind of, like, smooth out this area and get rid of all the rock outcrops and stuff that are around. So that's probably what I'll get up to. I don't actually know exactly what time it is. But that's the problem with falling from space and having no access to modern technology. So I guess it'll be morning when it's morning. If you look very closely, there's like little guys trapped inside the stone over here. I don't know who Cask of Amontillato'd them, but I'm going to do them a favor and free them from living. Ow, I've been bit by a dog. Oh, there's another one, dude. It's all fun and games till the zombie Dobermans show up. We got another one of those Parasitor Primordiums. I should probably investigate what those are used for. Let's go ahead and dig our way over because I see a big old buttload of copper over here. And that's exactly what my butt needs right now. So we're going to go ahead and go grab it real fast. The second we crack this open, though, this guy is probably going to bum rush us. Luckily, we're a little bit faster than he is because we wore our ultra special running Reeboks. And so we're all nice and covered right there. I'm going to grab this copper and then we'll head back to base and see what other things we can do in order to advance our understanding of the universe. After some adventuring, I found a town. There will be towns around in this game and little settlements and things. I don't know if this is going to go well for me, but I think I can borrow their stuff, too. Like this guy over here, is this like a stone furnace? That's a stone furnace, so that's not that helpful. He's also got a chest. I have no idea if he's going to like bum rush me and try to murder me if I steal his stuff. I'd be a little bit upset if some random guy just walked into town and took my things. But there you go. If you ever end up in over your head and you need a place to run, we found ourselves a little town, and it's probably got like vendors and other little things in here. Yeah, as you can see, they've got little shop counters that are covered with charcuterie boards and seeds, and apparently he's selling a cactus. It must be a very, very nice cactus in order to command such a wonderful financial price. I also noticed that we did, in fact, come equipped with a clock. It's up in the top right. The numbers are just very, very little. Just kind of casually trying to get this copper out of the side of the mountain, but there's some, like, weird rodent sleep paralysis demon over there. He's eyeballing me up and down. Ancient bird fossil. Well, come along with me, ancient little dead bird. I'll take you back to my place of reckoning. We need to check our genome after this, too, because I've picked up a lot of, like, random little things along the way. I want that copper right there really, really bad, but I don't know if I'm willing to die for it. I'm willing to die for it. Let's not pretend like I'm not greedy as hell when it comes to getting loot inside the context of video games. All right, there we go. Let it never be said that I am a coward, for I have gathered all of the copper. There's also, like, some bears over here that are just, like, chillaxing, but they made the mistake of having possessions. Like, I see treasure chests up in there, so I'm going to start snaking arrows around to see if I can get one of them. Doesn't seem like they take that much damage. There, down goes the bear. Oh, there's another one in there. Weak. I don't know if there we go. I was kind of wondering if I could actually get that arrow off right there. I'm going to have to make more arrows pretty soon. Luckily, I'm just absolutely stacked on materials right now, so that shouldn't be too difficult. There's another one, man. How many bears you going to make me fight in here, dude? This is like the Bearporium. All right. They're about to be a whole lot bear-poorer, though, when I get to... Oh, my God. Another one spawned. Oh, my God. Hey, I got some woolly bits, though, so that's nice. I got to get back in here fast enough to break down their den before another one spawns. There we go. We have defeated all that is bear. And now we have gotten... Apparently, we found a chest full of space drugs. So that's pretty cool. Move everything to my backpack. I'll probably bring these chests back with me, too. Yeah, there we go. That looks good. And there's some bones in here, too. You can actually harvest the bones. And some torches and things. Nothing that I'm super excited about. Some Miko Joyful. It's a drug. So apparently we found space cocaine that makes us attack faster. I'm going to take all of these chests back with me. There you go. Apparently that chest was made out of silver. Not bad. That's luxurious. Well done, Bears. I'm glad to hear that you got some kind of promotion or that your salary's been adjusted. You know, I sort of identify with the facial expression that my orc has right now. Like, he's got a facial expression that really, that's what I look like when I'm forced to face anything in life that is not sitting around in an easy chair eating tortilla chips with guacamole. Like, every other activity, that's how I look while I'm doing that activity. Going to the store, exercising, you know, petting my cat. But, you know, when I pet my cat, it normally makes me happy, but that's probably more like after he bites me as recompense for petting him. Because that's what he does. He hurts me. He hurts me, and he makes me sad. And we'll go ahead and smelt off that ore real fast. Why is the ore not working? Because I got the slots reversing. There we go. I'll probably slap down one of these chests, just so we got a little bit of storage space around. Probably put it, like, right there. The other thing you can do is you can use these as, like, building blocks to actually make, like, your own palisade wall and whatnot. I'm waiting until I get the furniture and the masonry bench, though, so we can actually build things out of cool, sleek granite, and we can be really, really baller and really sort of classy. Everybody knows that granite, like, if there was a stone that wore a monocle compared to all the other stones, like a monocle and a top hat, it would be granite. There are a plethora of crafting recipes in this game, like, it almost never ends. Like, if you're one of those people that really likes collecting objects and just crafting the next thing down the tier tree, I've got good news for you. Keplerth is a game that has a shocking variety of items that you're going to be able to craft along the way. For right now, though, let me see what's going on with my copper. We're at like 16. I'll take a little stack of roonies with me real fast and see if that's enough to actually build anything. We can make a furniture workbench. I think that's probably a good idea. We can make a feeding trough, although I'm not convinced how useful that's going to be. We'll go ahead and knock this down. I don't have any pets right now. Like, I don't have any furry little friends to help me out with the situation. I do appreciate that the crafting workbenches take on the color of, like, the constituent material that they've been made out of. And it looks like we can make copper walls and whatnot, although that seems a little bit luxurious. Then again, I was just extolling the virtues of being baller, so, like, I don't know. And of course, there is the time-honored tradition of just simply lighting things on fire, because it's fun. And I appreciate that they added that as a torch function in this game. Lighting things on fire is, like, unbearably fun. And so any game that's going to allow me to light things on fire freely, you know, like a 12-year-old with a Bic lighter, is a game that passes the bar, in my opinion. I've got some food cooking over there. There are little details. I do like how when you have food cooking on the fire, it adds a little spit roast, but when you don't, it's just, like, empty right there. There's little, like, observational details that they've added to the game. We need to make healing salves, apparently, is what it wants me to do next, so I suppose I'll go along with that, although I don't know exactly. Do I have the ashes? Oh, yeah, there's some healing salve right there. We needed 3 of them, though. See, that was the problem, is I needed far, far more. So I guess I've got, like, the game's basic version of a health potion ready to rock. I don't want to light anything else on fire, and frankly, I'm trying not to have any accidents. So, like, we need to take a look at our genome and see if there's anything we can do around here. So we've got Metal's Reaction Shock. When you get hit, the opponent's attack speed goes down. That's pretty good. But I think that's the only one that we have available, although I do appreciate the fact that the game actually highlights anything that you actually and actively have the parts for. That is a nice little quality of life feature that makes it easy to rapidly upgrade your character, like, in the heat of the moment. Aw, dude, I can make some glovies? Yeah, make some glovies, dude. That's what we need. Sweet, bro. I mean, I don't have hands, so I'm guessing the gloves are just there for moral support. There's also set bonuses for, like, the gear that you put on. So if you equip, like, all copper or, like, all iron, it's still got the same Terraria thing going on where it'll give you, like, some level of bonus for having those things. That is a feature that I'm very much enamored with. I like it when games have, like, set bonuses and things of that nature. We need a lot more wool, though, before we're going to be able to make anything else for ourselves. But all things considered, we should be pretty strong pretty soon. Let's go ahead and we want to make a fishing rod. I think I already cooked a meal on the stove, didn't I? Oh, it wants me to cook it on this stove right here. Yeah, that's going to require me to find nectar and berries and, like, all kinds of stuff. And frankly, I feel like my diet has enough fiber in it already, dude. It's been hard to squeeze in the bathroom trips in between all the random adventuring. That's very, very nice. Thank you for... Oh, I'm out of arrows. Lame. I'm not nearly as cool as I used to be, and now I'm on green fire. The joys of heresy. Please die. Thank you. I don't know what the hell you are, but I virtually guarantee I'm going to need arrows in order to kill you. So let's go ahead and make some more of those. There we go. Range combat, dude. It solves all ills. Oh, that one's kind of cute, though, dude. I'm not even, like, really mad at that one right there. He was actually kind of adorable. I feel like the clear aggressor in this particular situation. A malformed apple? Okay, apparently we got genetic material from an apple. I gotta kill all this stuff over here because I need wool, and I think wool is a rare drop off of, like, bears and other critters that have large amounts of fur. Like, normally you would say to yourself, like, I bet I get wool from a sheep or something. Nope, you don't get wool from a sheep. Most of the wool that I've gotten has been from bears, boars, other creatures that normally are not considered to be that one emoted at me right there. The bears are evolving. They're becoming stronger. Even without thumbs, they emote. That's dedication right there. I'm not actually convinced that I just should destroy all these lairs. Like, I was killing them all before, but as of right now, I sort of feel like the lair, it gives me an endless supply of, like, things to kill to get wool from. So maybe I'll leave it alone for a minute. There's another person over here. Can I consider robbery? Oh, it's another town. Okay, so there's a Beastmaster over here. It looks like this person is thinking awfully hard about chairs. Oh, she wants a chair, so, like, if I give her a chair, good things will happen to me, is, I think, what is implied here. You know, I found that nothing truly sparks a friendship like the gift of an elevated ass. I will consider her request, and maybe, just maybe, if I am feeling forthcoming, I will gift it unto her. I didn't check and see if she was an orc. Like, obviously, if she was orcish, like me, there would be a far higher chance right there. Maybe we would find some commonality in our enjoyment of having an elevated ass. And then, after connecting on that human level, perhaps we would find that we had a bit more in common. And maybe we would start a family and go out to candlelit dinners. But alas, I dream. So now that we've arrived at morning, I figured I'd show you how the whole building system works. And in fact, it's actually really, really easy. It's quite literally just sort of drag and drop. You just click where you want things to go. And so I'm going to, like, run a little barrier right here with some of the rocks that we have. And I think that looks perfectly fine. I've got plenty of wood. I'd like for that wall right there to go away, but I don't know if we're actually directly able to destroy the life pod that we started out with. So I may have just done myself dirty right there. I've got my furniture thing, so we'll go ahead and add, like, a door. That sounds good. We can put a door on one side just to make it look a little bit more presentable. There we go. Door, you don't look like you're properly installed. This doesn't look like union work to me. Hold on. There we go. Now the door looks like it's in the appropriate place. The other thing I need is more flooring. All this stuff is really, really easy to do, and in fact, I'm impressed with how tactile the game is. It's got lots of quality of life things that I think work really, really well as far as just kind of getting the game moving, and like everything works exactly how you sort of intuitively think it would work. Like, you just click and drop when you want to put something down, and then when you want to dig it back up, you place another floor on top of it, and the old floor will pop back up, and you're like, oh, sweet, dude, I get the old materials back. Flowers, I'm sorry, you must die. I must destroy you. Death to the flower. All right, I'm going to finish this off right here, make it all look nice. Perfect. And then, with my remaining wood, I've started planting trees and stuff down here. So, like, I planted a whole bunch of bushes over here, and then I've got also some apple trees coming up on this side so that we have lots of food available. I'd probably like to take, actually, if you just take, like, the bare basic wood, and bare basic wood, there you are. Bare basic wood, please stop betraying me in the middle of my video, thank you. All right, we'll just put in, like, a little fence over here to just sort of keep our garden safe. Yeah, that feels like something that someone might do in order to make sure this all stays good. So there it is. We've got ourselves a nice little enclosed area. We're protected. Nothing in particular is going to be able to get after us or hurt us. But Keplerth has been pretty satisfying so far with the time that I've spent with it. There's a lot to dive on in here. There's a lot of content. Once we go up to the spacecraft and start building the ship to get off the planet, that guy's going to send you on monster hunts down into dungeons. You get special abilities. You continue mutating. There's a nearly endless list of things to craft. And while the game doesn't particularly do anything outside the ordinary for like a sandbox survival crafting game, it does them all up to an acceptable or better standard. And so if you've bounced off a Starbound, you're done with that. You've bounced off Terraria, and you're done with that. and you wanted to play another survival crafting game, I am of the opinion that you could do a whole lot worse than Keplerth. It's a pretty satisfying little game. My only gripe about it is that I wish the character and the enemies wobbled a little bit while they walked to imply that they were walking. And that's such like a minor gripe, like that's such a minor fence to get caught up on that like honestly, it almost embarrasses me to bring it up in the first place, but it's just like the main thing. But there's even like little details with this game, like when you're moving in a direction and you stop, your character doesn't stop directly. He has inertia. He slides a little bit. Stuff like that makes it all the more satisfying, so the lack of character motion, like bouncing up and down while you walk or whatever, is even more so just kind of like vexing, because it's obvious that they've looked at the movement and whatnot and added like inertia to the character or whatever to make it more satisfying. And so it makes me curious why they don't make the enemies and the character sort of wobble as they move around in order to like imply like a walking motion. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block we had Keplerth, where we built up a base, we killed a whole lot of zombie bears, we planted some crops, we murdered some trees and made the Ents our eternal enemy. I'll see y'all tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet, but up until then I gotta bid you adieu. Bye everybody.